What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video and welcome to the Monday Kickoff. Hope you guys are having an amazing start of the week. As usual, guys, in today's video, we're gonna have a full breakdown of all of the events coming to Raid Shadow Legends this week, and we have quite a few, and my gut tells me that we're gonna have a Titan event this week, but they haven't announced it just yet. So even if you are heading over to the news, you're not going to see it here for the moment. At least when I restarted the game a few minutes ago, nothing popped. And I think I have a theory why is that the case. Now, if you enjoy the content, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and help out with that YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. Of course, we have everyone's favorite game mode. Starting tomorrow, clan versus clan. This time around is not featuring personal rewards, guys. The rewards are actually unknown. We might not get reaction gear. We might actually get materials for the forge, for the new relics from the clan group, which, to be honest, is much better than getting the reaction accessories. Either way, that's what I'm expecting from here. Now, the actual rewards do not include any materials whatsoever. We're getting a speed gear, and the rest is pretty much standard. Nothing fancy in terms of rewards in the clan versus clan. I do want to give you guys a quick reminder. Make sure to go and complete your clan quests if you haven't done it just yet. If you need to pick any of them up and do it, I still need to basically do one more of them, which actually two of them. So I gotta do two more of them. I've only done one so far. If you gotta purchase anything from the clan shop before the weekly reset, which will happen tomorrow, of course, make sure you guys do it. There isn't much very interesting this time around in the shop, to be honest with you guys. I only got a silver and I got the ranked charms. That's about it. Nothing else is really appealing. If we are talking about the bazaar as well, if you have your reset, make sure you guys go and check it. This is different for everybody, but just a quick reminder. I actually had to do mine yesterday, and I am looking forward to get this sacred shard. I'm actually waiting for it. One more hour, but I'll be coming back to that. What events we have at the moment? 2x on all of the soul stones. This is the second time when it happens, guys. We basically have a 2x even on the big, expensive, trashy stone that drops only epic champions. So we have a 50% chance to summon 6-star souls from there. Much better, to be honest with you guys. Then, of course, the mortal, the immortal, they have boosted chances on 5 and 6 stars. We all want to get a 6 stars, right? Then, that's pretty much it in terms of soul stones. If you have any, now is the moment to drop them. Unfortunately, we don't have an event that will give us extra rewards, so no soul chase tournament or anything like that. We will have, of course, summoning events for tomorrow. We have some crazy good champions on it, but we're gonna get to that in just a bit. In the meantime, I do want to point out a couple of different things. In terms of actual events, we have the champion training event that started yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I actually went and completed this just to be able to claim all of these rewards from 10,000 to 13,000 points. They're actually good rewards. So I've completed this one yesterday. We have a gear enhancement event, which will come to an end. This is still part of the fusion. I'm not going to stress to get this done because I don't need a rare champion. I've already fused mine. We have a new dungeon diver event, which will start tomorrow. Seems like we're going to get coins for soul stones, right? So we're going to be able to either purchase coins, either purchase soul stones, either purchase the currency to purchase souls, okay? In terms of tournaments, we have a dragon tournament with epic champions only. I will show you what team I'm using. Basically, the rewards are decent. You can get up to a medium soul stone. Now, the good thing about it is that we have, if I'm not mistaken, a 3x on speed gear. So hell yeah, go and farm it if you have the energy and stuff. I'm pretty broke in terms of gems. I have no energy in my vault whatsoever. And I still need to get my masteries on Fabian, because I'm planning to do a video on him tomorrow, most likely. So 3x on speed gear. Then on Friday, we're going to have a 3x on a savage gear from the Fire Knight. Where is it? Right here. And that's about it. So 3x on speed, 3x on savage. These events come and go pretty much every single month, okay? Usually out of the fusions when we don't have any events and tournaments for the for the fusions. We will have as well Sand Devils Necropolis tournament starting tomorrow. And you know the drill, that's one of the best tournaments in the game because it's fairly easier to get rewards comparing it with the Dragon tournament, right? So to get the rewards here, probably I have to drop in like, I don't know, 3k energy or so, maybe more, depending on how lucky I am with the drops. With the Sand Devil turn attack, I'm usually completing it with like 2k energy. That's why it's much better in my opinion, but of course, it does depend what teams you're running. Now, for my Dragon Slayer team, guys, I'm only farming Stage 6 hard mode with epics only, and this is what I'm using. Yes, I do have pretty high blessings on all of them. They're pretty much all empowered, but basically, it's all about poisons, right? Poisons. And I'm sure I could probably make a much better team, but I just threw in a few epics together and went on to Stage 6. Then, leaving all that on the side, as I've mentioned, so far we have no news related to the Titan event. We are expecting a Titan event that will most likely give us the soul for Fabian. Unless they're planning to do a Pair of Light event or something like that instead. That's a possibility as well, right? To be honest with you guys, I'm pretty convinced that they will announce whatever that might be after tomorrow. So definitely not today. And the reason for it is because we have some pretty crazy champions on the 15x progressive chance, which is, as usual, a bait, right? I feel like I've been repeating myself with this for the last few weeks, but when you see Newt on the list, you know that is a bait. You know that something big is coming because that's when they always drop Newt on the 15x progressive chance. Because they know how many people want to get their nuts up and running in Raid Shadow Legends. So, most likely, we're going to see a Titan event somewhere around here. Wednesday, Thursday, or maybe a Pair of Light event instead. Which, to be honest, might be easier in a way or another. But you don't have so much time to complete it, right? And I definitely don't have the stock on shards to complete a Pair of Light event. Hell no. So hopefully we're going to get a Titan because that's at least spread across 2 weeks. We have more time to get a soul for Fabian. Leaving all that on the side, let me just quickly show you what champions we have on the progressive chance. I'm quickly going to talk a bit about some of them. So, we have it starting on Tuesday, of course, Ancients, Primal, Sacreds, and Voids as usual. And we have Newt, we have Freya, Feral, Ragash, Helicat, Grazur, Nakret, Khan. We have Tetsuya the Deliverer, which I can't remember which one that is. We have Arashi the Riptide. Again, I can't remember that champion either. It means that they're probably so good. We have Harima, Karato, Kyoku, Shuzan. And we have Raiho, Bone Spear, and Jing 1. Yes, YST, I am thinking about you every freaking time I'm saying Jing 1. Either way, guys, that's what we have on the list. So, I do think that it will be quite a bit of a bait, right? So, up to you if you're gonna go and open shards to try and get Newt. Keep in mind the 15x progressive chance is usually trash. You need to be extremely lucky in order for you to hit the 15x champion. It's almost like winning the lottery, more or less, okay? So, keep that in mind. You might open one shard and get Newt, and hell, you're gonna be set for life. Or at least for the foreseeable future in most of the dungeons. Crazy good champion, the best enemy max HP champion in the game. Then, as I've mentioned, we do have Freya Fate Weaver, very good champion as well. I'm seeing a lot of people running her in live arena. Truth be told, even though I liked her since the beginning, I haven't built mine yet. And it has been, what, 6 months? Around 6 months, and I still haven't built her, but she's good. She's really good. I need to build her. Every time I'm seeing her in live arena, I'm like, damn, I still haven't built her. I need to build mine. So, most likely I will have to build her soon. She's booked. She has masteries. I just need to basically give her some gear. AoE provoke. You have the increased defense. You have the shield, which is really good. You have the clans, the immunity, the turn meter, the passive, which is what makes her so freaking good. Instantly giving a turn to the champion that has the highest crit damage in the team. So you can definitely do some crazy funky things with her in PvP and in PvE. She's overall a strong champion. In terms of builds, I think I might build mine with resistance, immunity, stone skin, something like that. I'm still gonna have to basically see exactly what I want to do with her. But you have quite a few different options when we're talking about builds. And she is a very strong champion, especially for the siege mode, to use in a full defense team, right? She's really, really good for that. Then we have Feral the Backhorn. Really solid champion for the Hydra clan boss, really solid for one-shot dungeon strategies, really solid for the Chimera as well. The top teams are using Feral in the team. Decrease speed, the block buffs, the decreased accuracy, you have the increased resistance, you have the perfect veil, really, really good for trials, the passive that enhances the damage, the accuracy, the resistance. Like, he does so many freaking things. Amazing, amazing champion. And I can say it that this is the best champion I've ever pulled on a 1+1 ancient shards. This one right here. I never really got anything as close as good as Feral. So really strong champion. I have mine built on a 9-piece protection, and definitely not planning to change that. Then we have Ragash. Ragash is definitely not a bad champion whatsoever. I feel like he did lose quite a bit of value. I mean, he used to be at the almost at the top there with Harima, but they both lost value, to be honest with you guys. And while he's still good, I'm running mine in the Curse series. You can still run him in Tag Team Arena. Hell, you can run him in any of the arena modes. You can even run him maybe in the Hydra or somewhere else. You're still gonna gain value out of him. But let's just say before he used to be here, and now he's somewhere here. And you have the Mythicals and all the rest somewhere, like, I don't think I can reach as high, right? But he's still good for other content, not a high-end PvP or PvE in the game. Curse series, that's what I'm using mine, and absolutely amazing with the stun, the defense down, the buffs that he brings, his self-buffs with increased defense, the extra damage right here. So overall, I'm not disappointed with Ragash whatsoever, and it took me a while to get him. Then we have Mr. Helicat. Great for the Iron Twins. He's a one-man army for clan boss. You don't even need another champion to bring you block damage or anything like that, because he brings the block damage, he brings the shield with the increased defense. Everything really, really good about the champion. He has the weaken on the A1, the counterattack with a passive, the defense aura for all battles. He can still be good in arena, very good in Curse series. I think even in the siege mode, you can definitely argue that if you're going versus some specific teams, especially demon spawns related, right, you can definitely make it work with him. Then we have Grazur. Grazur is actually not bad. I'm not really using mine, to be honest, anywhere. So I'm not going to act like, oh my god, I'm using him everywhere and he's absolutely OP or anything like that. But I think he's still really, really nice. Shield on the A1, AoE. You have the AoE right here, increases the duration of buffs. Some healing. You have the provoke, increased resistance, increased defense. The passive, a Vogot on steroids, defense aura for all battles. You can build him on a curse set. Hell, you can even build him for some PvP scenarios, right? Like, think about Vogot. Vogot was used in PvP for a long time, and he's on steroids with unkillable. So, Grazur actually really nice. Cursed, Savage, Relentless, Reflex. You have quite a few different options in terms of builds. Then we have Nakret the Great. Still, I can say that he still remains the Great. 6 books in his kit, man. I wish all of the legendaries would be like this. If you're looking to bring in a squishy champion into the arena and keep it alive, Nakret is going to get the job done. He's going to give them immunity. I feel like the best builds for Nakret: Stone Skin plus protection, just protection, Stone Skin plus bolster. Narcissus will wipe him out, so you got to be careful with that. But other than that, he's still really, really impactful for all of the PvP modes. You might not see him in defenses in a high-end Platinum arena, which is fine, but a lot of people are still using him in offense, right? So his value is still there at the top. Moving on to the next one, guys, we have Khan Branch Breaker, which was the guaranteed last week. I haven't went for him, the Void champion. He can deal some damage. He does require the setup. As I've mentioned in the video, I don't see this champion as a progression champion. I don't see this champion as an endgame champion because the meta is just not forgiving champions that don't ignore Stone Skin, that don't do something that will help your team. Damage dealers, we have, I don't know, from 900 champions, we have 2,000 damage dealers, right? So he can deal damage, don't get me wrong, but he needs the setup, he needs the shield. Block revive on the A1 is a pretty nice touch, to be honest with you guys. One thing that I really wish he was doing, puts increased defense on himself every time he takes a turn. I feel like that was the thing that should have been in his kit. Not every 4th turn and all that crap, because by the time I'm going to take 4 turns in arena, either I win the fight, either I'm dead, right? And I lose it. So give me that increased defense, so at least I don't make him dependable of a different champion to give me the increased defense. Less setup, which is better for a Void Legendary. Then, moving on to the next day, guys. Wednesday, we have Tetsuya the Deliverer. Now, you're gonna have to bear with me probably for like 20 minutes till I actually find that champion, because I have no clue from what faction that champion might be. I know it's a new one, or it might not even be a new one, and I just forgot about her name. The name is not even sounding too good to me. So we're gonna have to basically do some detective work in here till we find her. Maybe she's from here. I don't know. The name sounds a bit oddish. Sylvan Watchers, Tetsuya. No, that's what happens. Okay, Tetsuya. Oh yeah. This is the faction unity, bro. I'll be honest. Tetsuya in my head sounded like a female name. I don't know why. Usually in Romania, let me just explain it to you. When the names end in A, they tend to be female names, right? So it's just how I grew up, basically. It's kind of like a habit to instantly think about that. But Tetsuya the Deliverer. Faction unity for the Shadowkins, guys. Actually a pretty nice champion. We have a speed aura for all battles and increased crit rate only for Shadowkins. Good stats, attack-based champion. With A1 attacks an enemy, fills the thermometer of all allies by 10% if this attack is critical. Then you have the A2, attacks one enemy twice, will place extra hits if the target's thermometer is less than 50%, will ignore a percentage of the target's defense that is equal to the target's current thermometer, and resets the cooldown of this skill if the target is killed. So, from what I understand right here, the higher the thermometer, the more defense we're going to ignore. But then we're not going to have a double hit, right? Then we have the A3, attacks an enemy, steals 100% of the target's current thermometer and places it through fear. If you have one faction allies, this cannot be resisted. If you have 2 faction allies, the damage inflicted by the skill based on the difference between this champion's speed and the target speed, so the damage increases, sorry. And 3 faction allies will also attack all other enemies with more than 50% thermometer and will steal 100% of each target's current thermometer and places a true fear on them. But you need accuracy for this last part, by the way. Then with a passive, fills the champion's thermometer by 15% whenever an enemy champion takes a turn. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. One faction ally, thermometer increase effects used on allies are 20% more effective, and thermometer increase effects used on enemies are 20% less effective, which is pretty interesting. Then you have 2 faction allies. Whenever the champion has their thermometer field, increases the damage of their next attack by 5%, and that resets after he uses the skill. And with 3 faction allies, all allies are immune to thermometer reduction effects from enemies. Good for siege modes, only for the Shadowkin faction. In general, I think he is a pretty decent champion. I like the whole idea with the thermometer. Now, the main thing is you need to have a full team of Shadowkins to make the most out of it. I'm just trying to think if we have anyone that really manipulates the thermometer like crazy in here. We have Shuzan, we have Lady Kimi that have a little bit of thermometer manipulation that are good for PvP. Yumeko with the A1. So let's just say you could do some funky things with him. Then we have Arashi. Arashi is from this faction as well. As soon as I thought about it, I instantly remembered I actually made a guide on this champion. Not really impressed with this champion, to be honest. One, he is Spirit Affinity, HP-based champion. The multipliers are not that great. Double hitter, the perfect veil. Ignores quite a few buffs, but the damage just doesn't feel like is there, in my opinion. Self buffs, which once again is nice. The AoE attack basically is considered a single target attack. You can increase the damage for every enemy you kill with this skill. You have a nice passive, definitely not bad. I feel like his kit is pretty nice. The problem that I'm seeing with this champion is that the damage is just not there. Then we have, of course, Harima. Okay, seems like the whole faction. We have almost the entire faction. This is a Shadow King party. Harima is still a good champion. I have people that said, Skratch, Harima doesn't even deal damage. She's one of the shittest nukers in the game. Excuse me? Build your Harima right, brother, and then come and complain again that she doesn't deal damage. Like, she can stack so much damage, especially with A2. The A3, like, how can you say the Harima doesn't deal damage, bro? Like, honestly, how can you say the Harima doesn't deal damage when she actually smacks, okay? Yeah, she's not Siegfried, but she deals damage, okay? Plus the passive, everything else that comes with her. True, maybe I shouldn't have put her in the top 15 best nukers. Maybe she dropped more than I initially thought. I'm still seeing a lot of people using her in live arena, though, so that was one of the main reasons why I've put her where she is. Personally, I'm not really using her anywhere else but Curse City at the moment. But that's mainly because I'm using mainly mythical nukers, right? Skratch is a filthy degenerate Krakens who's not afraid to admit it. And he loves to use the mythical champions that he has on his account. But as I've mentioned, Harimachi is still good. Then we have Karato partners with Yumeko. They need a buff as a duo, right? I feel like even when he was released, they were still not strong as a duo. And just think about how much the meta evolved since. They're definitely not strong now. But it does have funky things in the kit. The affinity is definitely not really helping him much. Kyoku, solid defense-based champion, support champion. Love the passive, love the ally protection and the extra turn with the block damage, decrease attack or HP burn. I'm using 2 Kyokus. I have 2 of them built, one on a stun, one on a savage, and that's mainly for the Curse City as well. Then we have Shuzan. And by the way, I finally got my Shuzan. You guys know it. I'm not following this champion anymore. Now my eyes are on Cena from the Dwarf faction. Very good champion. I'm using her quite a bit, but not as much as I would love to use her. And that's mainly because I don't have a 6-star soul for her. So mine, she's pretty slow. But this skill is crazy good. PvE, PvP, especially even in PvE versus one-shot strategies. Which, by the way, now I can actually do. And I haven't thought about it. Then you have the AoE, attack, thermital manipulation, increase speed, decrease speed, the speed aura, you have the passive, the block active skills. I mean, Shuzan is an amazing champion. Then we have Raiho Bone Spear. Man, I just wish she would have decreased speed instead of the stun here. If she would have decreased speed, she would be so freaking busted for the goddamn Chimera, honestly. But because we don't have that decreased speed, it's a bit harder to fit her in the team. She does bring a lot of debuffs to the table. Feral set is without a doubt the best build for her. Now, what you can do with Raiho, but you need to have another Void champion, the Demon Spawn. I forgot his name, but we're gonna get to it in a second. You can land all of these debuffs on a target with a Feral set. Then you get a Demon Spawn champion. He's a Void, pretty hard to get, but maybe some of you guys got lucky. Spread all of the debuffs to the entire Hydra heads in there, to all of the Hydra heads, sorry. And bang, you're gonna get tons of damage. That's the only champion, if I'm not mistaken, that spreads all of the debuffs, not just 2 random debuffs. So, Raiho Bone Spear paired with Chalco, amazing, right? Like, really, really good combo. But I will need Chalco the Blind in order to be able to do that, and I don't have him. So maybe one day. And then we have Jing 1. Why haven't they put in Yumeko, man? Like, it would have been better for a lot of you guys that are looking. Still, Jing 1, even though he got buffed, he's not the best Void champion, but he's far from being the worst Void champion in the game. You have this skill, decrease accuracy, decrease crit damage, strengthen on all allies, removes all buffs from all enemies. Really, really solid, right? He's not excelling in any particular content. Usually, he's really good in the event dungeons. You have the block active skills with block buffs, really good for the Hydra clan boss because of it. Actually, yeah, both of the skills are really good for the Hydra, to be honest. And transfers all these debuffs from this champion to the target with a chance to stun. Decent passive as well with the crowd control. I feel like Jing 1 definitely has a slot in the game at the moment. That was all for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Tempted to summon for any of them. I'm personally not going to engage with any of the events. If I wouldn't have a Newt, most likely I would be very tempted as well, truth be told. but I'm gonna save whatever I have for the Titan event or Pair of Light event or whatever the heck they might be doing, which most likely they won't tell us, only after we're gonna open shards tomorrow. Either way, much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.